back to Return Trajectory, Episode 2, Dirty Science. When we last left off, Bill and Jebediah Kerman were on their way back into orbit to rendezvous with the watchtower, get refueled, and get their science equipment clean so they can go back onto the moon and continue with the mission of exploring the moon. I set up a maneuver node here to determine the closest approach after a few orbits with this altitude, and it looks like I got a very close approach on the light side of the moon, which is very good. Now, this is the one thing that is a little bit bad about not launching at the right time. So the station is on the exact opposite side of the planet. So by having a periapsis that is lower than the orbit of the station, I travel faster. And while having an apoapsis that is above the orbit of the space station, I travel slower. But because of the large discrepancy in between the two orbits, the semi-major axis is different. So the orbital time is different because the size of my orbit is different at different sides, meaning my orbital time is different than that of the station, meaning we meet at different places. So according to the map, I've still got a large difference in between my basically approach from the station from my position now compared to where the station is on the next orbit. So on my next orbit, those two pink markers is where my ship is going to be and where the station is going to be, because at the moment I'm still ahead of it. So coming around the moon over and over and over will eventually get you a closer approach. The fastest way to get back to a station, although it does waste fuel, is to go to your closest approach. Now that would be the marker that doesn't have the dotted line. So you see the orange one up ahead? If I burned prograde there, I would bring the other node closer to myself eventually. Or I could burn retrograde to bring it closer to myself. But at the moment I have a 700 meter approach with just the closest approach that I have set up already. So what I've got Bill doing now is burning at 90 degrees, which is increasing his orbital velocity, which gave me a further apart approach. So I aimed at the retrograde marker at 270 and I brought it within 300 meters, and then I used RCS to fine-tune it to 200 meters. So within 4 orbits, we're going to be having an approach upon the watchtower station to get docked back up and get all that science unloaded onto the station, get refueled, and get those science equipment cleaned so that we can continue our exploration of the moon. I could have done this a lot better, but coming in from a polar inclination wasn't exactly easy to get back into orbit. Kerbal Engineer still says I have about 1,186 meters per second delta V, which is about 2 minutes and 42 seconds of flight time at full throttle. But as you can see, those liquid fuel tank meters on the left side, the lower side of the screen, are practically empty. You can actually see the station there behind me for a split second while it was still in sunlight. So we're going to be coming in to align to the station relatively soon. There we are, 3.5 kilometers away. We've got Bill pointing the capsule at it so you can see it as it loads. Normally I'd be able to see it with distant object enhancement, but I was having some issues with loading stuff. 2.7, 2.6, 2.5, 2.4, 2.3, and cue the lag, and there's the station. There we go. You can see everything docked to it. We got the big ass fuel freighter on the right, the top secret module on the bottom, and on this side, oh, we got the rock storage. We got all of our supplies. And Bill is still the one piloting. You can actually see Jeb in the back sitting on that co-pilot seat. He's adjusting the close approach with engines just a tiny bit. And it's pretty much just very small adjustments as you're coming into dock. And you can always tell how close you're going to be getting by going to the map view and checking your close approach there. Just slowly slowing down. We're only coming in at about 14.5 meters per second, which is very slow in far as orbital terms when it comes to docking. I generally like having a much slower approach. You use less fuel, and you don't have to worry so much about crashing into the station or space station or whatever you're flying. So it's pretty much keeping that retrograde marker right on the pink marker and adjusting slightly as we come in to basically keep those aligned. I'm not really checking the map at this moment. It's pretty much down to just watching my nav ball and watching the station. $700 meters now, still approaching. Doing gravity scans just because I kept getting the warning up there from Science Alert saying, hey, do science, but it was just gravity scans. I like having gravity scans done above particular biomes only when I'm actually coming in to grab all the science from them. That way I know I grab everything from them all at once. So we're still coming in at 6.8 meters a second, 6.3 meters a second. I'm changing my rendezvous to come up above the station, as you can see relative to where we're at right now, to see if I can get myself in line with those docking ports as close as I can. Switching over to RCS now. We can do the rest of our slowdown with RCS easy enough. Switching over to chase cam. Slowing down the last little bit of fuel there. And there we go. Practically stopped, still moving at 0.3 meters a second. Now, I believe this was before I had reinstalled the laser docking cam. So I was doing this all manually, just watching the nav ball, making sure my docking port was coming in, checking my front view, just very small adjustments to get myself docked. Docking really isn't that hard, you just got to take your time and be careful. And there we go, docked. There's a little bit of wobbling, so I'm locking down the SAS and the reaction wheels on the command pod. Realigning the station to true north, putting it into free camera mode. It's a little bit wobbly, but as long as you take your time doing it. Realigning the panels for good solar deployment, getting Bill out, getting him over to the ladder that we deployed through Alan, and check out the probe, it's actually not tiny anymore. And dropping off our science. Headed back down to the lander and getting Bill back in. Next thing, I did get TAC fuel balancer reinstalled, so that means I can move fuel around as quickly as I can, dumping everything from the big ass fuel freighter into the station. So that orange tank that now has been deployed means that the big ass fuel freighter can go down to check out the Kiefer base, which will be done later. But for now, we've just got to refuel the MORSEL, get all its fuel supplies recharged, get its life support recharged, and get rid of all that stuff. So now that we're done, we're going to lock the docking port, go red for not sealed, and undock. And zooming out, I had a weird glitch where every time I had the ships, I would immediately go like inside of them when I did that. So I don't know what the deal with that was, but I fixed it later. This is a few days later when I started recording. I got the laser docking cam installed. I wasn't able to change the settings, so my load distance at this point was 22 kilometers, which means everything was like really bad as far as my frame rate goes. But later on I was able to change it to the one that I like, which is only 1 kilometer. That way I don't have stuff loading all over the place, and if I do jettison large parts from launch stages and stuff like that, I reduce my load. Right then I was just re-enabling my SAS modules so that I can actually turn my ship, because I was like, why can't I turn? And it was all due to not having my SAS online. And we're going to go ahead and point ourselves retrograde, pick a landing spot. Looks like there's a nice crater there we can aim for. So we're going to burn retrograde, get our orbit down to about 4.6 kilometers periaps. And I also have the ambient light adjustment mod like I did last episode. And just seeing the watchtower descend into the horizon. So coming down onto the surface, this is our landing site. We're going to go ahead and point ourselves retrograde and let Bill and Bob take over.
Alright, we're coming in. We're going to see if we can aim for a flatter spot on the ground. That way we don't have any issues landing on inclinations or anything like that. Right, I've got 2 science supports, one from the gravity, one from the temperature. And, well, I'm just waiting till we get on the ground, and then I can activate the, science canisters and the goo canisters and all that stuff, get the EVA report. Alright, landing gear deployed, coming in. Should be a nice, slow landing like we did last time. Thrusters deployed, full throttle, coming in. 500 meters, 400, 300, 200. Alright, slowing down and, continuing our descent. Should be a nice, easy landing straight down. Dude, watch out, we got rocks right below us! Oh yeah, full throttle! Full throttle! Oh. Wow, that was close. Right? Are you sure you should be the one piloting? I mean, I had close calls and all, but, I mean, this is 2 in one day, man. Come on. Yeah, maybe after we get back to the station. We still got one more landing to take care of. And the science to get from that. Yeah, but I'll try to be a bit more careful. Landing's good with 6 meters above the ground. This should be a nice, slow, easy, no disaster touchdown. Look at that, there we are.
That was close. Abort a launch and land with all crew members still alive. That was abort a landing. Deep impact. Land inside one of the big craters on the moon.
So this is our first official landing on a crater. This is the far side crater. I'm going to go ahead and lower the ladder. And I'm going to go ahead out and get the EVA report. There we are. Airlock sealed. So EVA report. I've recorded the observations. It's a big crater. Crawling down the ladder. And lights on, there we go. Down on the surface. This is my favorite theme music ever. Dancing on the moon alone, all alone, all alone. Look at me on the moon, la 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 la. Please stop singing. Fine. Alright, first things first, plant a flag. Right. Okay, plant a flag there. I know what to do. Planting a flag, yeah, big deal. Okay. Far side crater. These rocks looked a lot smaller when I was coming in for landing. Alright. The dust is getting everywhere, and there's large concentrations of radioactive materials here. Back to the ladder, and up. Up. Grabbing all the science from outside, and hopping back in. Alright, we're sending KSC a crew report, and then we're coming back. Did you do the science report? For what? The good canister and the science junior. You never got them cleaned when we were at the station. Ugh. Fine, headed back up.
So that was totally a mistake on my part. I forgot that the watchtower was supposed to be used for, cleaning the science equipment that we used. So we did a complete landing on the far side crater, and, yeah, didn't get any science junior or goo canister reports. I am so smart. So one landing, we got the other stuff, so soil surface samples and stuff would be cool. I'll have to make sure that I head back down to that crater later, and get the science from there. In the meantime, we are coming back up to the watchtower. We're doing a direct launch to docking in true KSP fashion. Well, for good KSP fashion. It's actually a lot easier to get into orbit and dock to a ship that's in vacuum, because you don't have to deal with slowing down from the air and stuff like that. Also, with having the watchtower at a much lower orbit of 30 kilometers, it's quite a bit easier to get aligned to it and slow down relative to it. So I'm already 1.7 kilometers away, only moving at 21 meters a second, and that's direct from launch. We've technically only been away from the station for about an hour and 5 minutes, and we're already back.
So you guys have been gone for a little bit over an hour, and you're already back. Yeah, it seems I forgot to ask you guys to clean up the science modules. So, coming in for docking. Alright, you're clear to dock. Take the, Radio Plus docking port. We've still got the, you-know-what module attached to the station on the other side, so you can come in nice and clean and dock there. Docking port is clear. We're ready to receive. Roger that, coming in to dock. Slowing down. Run set velocity is at 0.2 meters a second. Docking camera online. Realigning. RCS online. And we are good to dock. Coming in at 0.3 meters a second. Distance is 5 meters. 4 meters. 3 meters. Realigning. Thrusting down, up, right. Docking port aligned. And we have contact. Alright, good job with the docking there. I'm gonna go ahead and resupply your fuel. Fuel resupplied. Now, Bill, if you could go ahead and get out and get that science over to us, we might as well drop off what you do have. Right, I've got the science on hand. And beginning EVA over to the station. Bill, we're picking up a little bit of odd vibrations. Did you lock down the SAS from the MORSEL? I believe so. It doesn't look like it. We're picking up an awful lot of shaking here. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm noticing it. Quite a bit. I'm gonna see if I can keep my grip on the station as I go up through the science module and drop off the science at the cupola module at the top. Alright, be careful. We're holding down in here. Hold down, guys. Jed, can you lock everything down? Yeah, no can do. It's snack time for me. So yeah. Bill, as soon as you get back, lock that down, since, you're the pilot, that's your job. If, you could get back and do that, that'd be great. God, you insufferable little twit. I'm on my way back down. Gonna EVA, not taking the ladder. I swear. You really are just tired of, not being able to fly the ship, aren't you? Yeah, just a bit. Right, getting back on. Coming overboard! Coming overboard! I am off station! I am off station! Ah! Quit making noise out there! I'm trying to have a snack in here! Did you hear me? I am off station! As in, not on board! Flying off the station all by myself! My bike isn't working! I am in free fall! I am floating off the station! 20 meters! 25 meters! Is anyone gonna help? Anyone? Am I just gonna float here by myself? All alone? Anyone? Any trouble? Hello?
Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another episode of Return Trajectory. If you liked the video, please do like the video, and feel free to subscribe. This is ThatTinyDude, signing out.